Hey everyone, Gil here at Camp Patton Family Compound. So yes, I'm in the kitchen again, fixing something up to eat here. So I'm going to cover a bunch of different little things here, and hopefully it'll help you expand your meal repertoire, whatever you want to call it. Alrighty, so I'm going to be talking about some canned foods here today, and I got some down here. I got tuna. And I got the roast beef, which I've already done several things with. And then, of course, I got canned chicken. This is what I'm going to be working with today. But what I'm going to talk about at first goes for all three of these. All right. Probably the most simple and easiest thing to do, where you don't have to cook any of these things, is making sandwiches out of them. So usually what our family does when we're making sandwiches, we need a couple extra ingredients: mayonnaise and relish. And those are the basic ingredients for mixing in with them. My mom used to make tuna fish sandwiches all the time. Mayonnaise and relish in there. Occasionally she'd put in a couple drops of mustard in there, just to flavor it up. And then she started making the chicken sandwiches the same way. She'd put the same stuff in it, but then she also would add to the chicken, she would add watercress or parsley or something like that in there with it as well. And one of the things that she did later on, after I was fully grown, for herself, she would add, for the chicken, she would add chopped celery, chopped shallots, other type of onions and stuff. She just chop up different vegetables type stuff and add it in there as a filler for a more healthy round meal in a sandwich. Alright, so but what I'm going to be doing today is something I did before with the roast beef, and that is adding barbecue sauce. So we're going to do a pulled chicken sandwich here. Alright, so I don't need the mayonnaise, I don't need the relish, I really don't need the mustard, but some people may like a little mustard in with the barbecue sauce, just to change up the flavor a little bit. Some people have added, I've seen them add different Tabasco sauces or something to spice up the barbecue sauce, so that's something you can do on your own. But so I've got myself a little container here that, because I'm not going to eat everything out of the can at one shot here. So I got the container here. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go through it here. Now the chicken here, I'm going to show you here once I get it opened up here. But it's packed in broth. And if you know anything about chicken broth, when it cools, has some chicken fat in it that separates out. So I'm going to open this up here. That's what we're going to see here. Without making a mess. So on the lid, you can see some of the fat from the chicken broth. I'm going to put that over in the sink here. And if I do this without spilling it, getting it up here so you can see. So this is what the can looks like with the broth in it there. But I really don't need to save this broth. And I know some people out there, when they pack it, they salt it and stuff. It's a little too salty for them. So one of the things you can do is you can run water over it to remove the salt. So I'm just going to go over to the sink here and just dump it out. Use the lid to strain it. I'm going to use the lid to strain it over here. Okay, so now this is what it looks like afterwards, just draining it. And it looks like there's a bit of fat in there, chicken grease, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to run some water over it here. So hang on a second here. Let's see if I can turn the camera over that way a little bit. Catch what I'm doing over here at the sink. So with the lid on it, I'm just going to start running some water. I'll go in around the sides, and I'll push the lid down, and the lid floats back up as the chicken pushes back. and that works the water around the chicken and gets the a lot of the chicken grease off of it, and yeah, so it looks a lot better. So I'm gonna move the camera back over this way here. So I'm gonna put that in there. Take my fork, scrape it out. So it is kind of chunky. So I'm going to use the fork to and just push straight down on it and pull back and just break it up so it's not so big chunks, so it's more like pulled chicken rather than chunky chicken. Of course, if you like chunky chicken, you can leave it that way and do that on it. Okay. Make sure I got everything broken up fairly well here. Okay. The only thing I'm worried about is how much barbecue sauce I have in here. I may need to grab another jar here if it doesn't work here. So squeeze the air out of it and then just shake it so all the barbecue sauce comes down to the end. There we go. This is going to take. I'm definitely going to need another jar here. So now I'm just going to mix it up here till it's the consistency I want. I'm going to need to put a little bit more barbecue sauce in here. So let me get mixed up what I have here first, just to see how much more I got to add to it. So I'm going to go over to the cabinet here and grab another bottle. I got another bottle. Oh, so I want to talk about this. This is raised, not sweet raised. This is just raised. No sugar added. No high fructose corn syrup in it. If you heard me talk before about high fructose corn syrup before, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, high fructose corn syrup is not good for you. Did a live stream a couple years ago with Dr. Joe Alton and his wife, Nurse Amy Alton, and she is deaf on high fructose corn syrup, and she rattled off a bunch of statistics in it and stuff. So I'll try to remember. I no guarantee I'll remember to put a link to that live stream. That would be up here, I think, or is that one of the corners here? Actually, what I want to do is, I'm at a little runny. I want to shake this a little bit better now. Make sure it's mixed up good. It sounds like it's mixing up. There we go. Okay, it's still a little dry on the bottom there. So this is one of the things you just need to do, learn. You can't measure out exactly how much barbecue sauce you're going to need. Sometimes the chicken is drier than other times. Other times it's it's just a little bit more wet and moist. And so you don't have to do this with canned chicken. You can, if you got a Costco nearby or Sam's Club where they have the rotisserie chicken, works great on that. You just pull the chicken breast off or the other meats and thighs or whatever, and you can make it up. Yeah, it's a little bit more there. There we go. You do it to flavor to what you like and how it's going to work for you. Now when I introduce my grandkids to this, it'll be light on the barbecue sauce. Okay, that's looking pretty Pretty okay. I know a little bit. I had another little dry spot down in there as I'm mixing it up. Okay, so that's about how I like to have it look. And then all I need, you go grab the loaf of bread I forgot to bring over. Bread and a napkin. Yes, I clean the countertops, but still, I don't like putting bread straight on the countertops. And yeah, we love using the clothespins instead of the twist ties. It's quicker getting it on and off. And then all I do is I start forking out some of it. I almost said spooning out, but it's a fork, not a spoon. To the amount I want and the thickness I want on the bread. With the fork, I find you can work it around a little bit better. You get an even amount on here. Alrighty. There you have a barbecued pulled chicken sandwich. Now, if you want, you can serve it on hamburger buns. You can serve it in hoagies, however you want to serve it. But it's up to you. So, yeah. Take a bite here. All right, I'll go take a bite for you. Good. So, when you look at the stuff you have in your food storage, your prepper pantry, whatever you want to call it, think of ways that you can serve the items in there when there's no power. So you don't have to worry about cooking it. All right? And before I take off, I just want to recommend that you I'll post right over here a link to a video that you might like, and down here will be a link to my indoor garden playlist. So check those out. And of course, right here is the link to my other channel, Gray Man Prepping. Alrighty, catch you around.